Hello, hello. Welcome, everyone, and welcome to yet to another beautiful live stream. Today, we are talking about something that is very important and something that we all deeply connect to, and that is language. But this is not just a conversation about speaking language. It is about what happens when you grow up in an environment where the language that is spoken there is not your first language. What do you do? How do you connect to the people around you? So today we have a special guest and she's going to introduce herself and she's going to tell us all about her life and how she has grown to speak her native language. So remember, to type it on the comment section, tell us where you're watching us from. Tell us what was your first native language to learn. And continue being with us from the beginning to the end. Welcome, Martha.
So, hi everyone. My name is Martha Wanyaga Magara. I'm from Kenya, Embu County. Yes, so I'm your guest for today, and free to ask any questions and to comment, and hopefully we'll connect as I share my own experience. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Martha. Indeed, we are very honored to have you in our live stream today. We know that you have a busy schedule, but we're so happy that you are here to share with us your journey. Uh-huh. Now, I have a question. Have you ever understood a language, but you have really struggled to speak it?
Yes, I have. I really have. Especially the
Uh-huh.
native languages that surround me. I have, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
so mhm.
Mm-hmm. So you felt like, or have you ever felt like, a language was part of your identity, even though it wasn't the language that you use in your everyday conversation?
Yes, certainly. I've experienced it, especially maybe at home, even at workplace. You see, before, right now I work remotely, but before I was working remotely, I used to have an on-site job. So there, of course, you're
Okay.
interacting with people from different tribal group. Let me say that. So you'll hear people talking their language, but definitely you understand, but talking, you can't be able to speak. Yeah, but
Mm-hmm.
maybe training yourself a little bit, but it's not as perfect as somebody who has grown in that setup. Yeah.
Oh, okay, great. Thank you so much for answering those questions. And indeed, I can see that most of the people experience that. And you are not alone, Martha. So that's why today we are going to have, a special and honest conversation about language, identity, belonging, and finding your own voice in the society that we are living in. And let's start fasting off. What languages or what languages surrounded you when you were growing up?
Okay. So languages that surrounded me when I was growing up, first we have English, we have Swahili, then now we go down to the native languages. So my native language is Kimbere, and also some other native languages like Kikamba, Kikuyu. Yeah, those are some of the languages that really surrounded me.
Okay. Okay, that's great. Apart from the ones that you have mentioned, do you speak any other language?
Ah, let's say if I was to speak like a conversation, it's those that I've mentioned. But maybe the ones that I'll hear or you write, I'll be able to read and understand. I'd say a little bit of French. Yeah, but I'm not
Oh,
good conversational with it.
all right. So you can read and you can hear what someone says.
Let's say read. You see, when somebody who is very fluent with French, it just passes you. But when it's written, at least yourself, you'll take time to read it and understand it. Because you see, there are people who really speak very fast. So it's hard for you to catch up.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Even in
Yeah.
your native language, sometimes there are people who are very fast with their words. So by the time you catch up, it takes time. So, yeah.
Yeah, that is true. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. So, when growing up, I don't know whether
Mhm.
you've answered this, but when growing up, what languages did you hear at home?
The languages that I had at home. Okay, so at home it was my native language.
Uh huh.
That was the major one at home at that time, not right now. You see, right now things have changed a lot.
For
But
sure. Uh
during
huh.
that time, it was basically my native language, even in church, even in the local market. It was basically the native language. The only time I used to hear another language that is far from my native, it's on TV or on the radio. Majorly around that period, it was just mostly the radio. So,
Yeah, for sure. Uh huh. It's a long time
yeah,
ago, right?
yeah.
Okay. And I understand that in Kenya, maybe some years back, native languages were taught in school.
Yeah.
So was it one of them that you learned? Were you, or did you, okay, during that period, or when you went to school, did you experience it or you just heard that it used to be there?
So funny thing is, during that time that you've mentioned, yeah, native language was taught in school. But in our local government school, it used to be taught. But I was fortunate to school in an academy where it was not taught. But my children are my
Ah,
fellow, maybe let's say age mates at that time who went to the local government school, they were taught. Yeah. But I really feel like right now those languages should be brought back. My honest opinion.
we are losing our culture, no?
We are, we are, we are.
Um,
Who we are. Yeah.
you know, I think was it last week, Batwan? We were having a
Mm-hmm.
conversation with Busola, Karsim, and I, and they were
Mm-hmm.
telling me that in Nigeria, those languages are there.
Oh
Yeah,
wow, that's so
yeah.
nice. That's so nice.
I
Wow.
know. Uh-huh.
They should really be brought back because I feel like you see right now every child, is even like a small child in your area, they are speaking Swahili and everything. I feel like it's good to go back to those roots where your local language is taught because I also feel like we are losing it a lot, a lot. It
I
will be
know,
good to
yeah.
be brought. You see, the way we have French in our some of our curriculums, French, Spanish, what? Let them add the local languages also.
That is true. Yeah. And also another thing, I attended a birthday party and, people wanted to know what I do. And when I told them what I do, and then they're saying, do you teach Kikuyu? And I was like, no. And not
Uh
twice, I
huh.
had that question. And, it
Mm.
seems like a gap that needs to be filled,
Yeah,
right?
that's a gap. Yeah. You can talk to Jacqueline and try and convince her.
And that we need to introduce Kikuyu. Or not only
That
Kikuyu, but
not not
also other. Uh-huh.
yeah, not Kikuyu per se, but you see right now Kikuyu it's like it's a Kenyan national language, to be honest. Like I'll come to Kisii and I'll talk to you in Kikuyu expecting you to understand what I'm trying to say. You understand?
Yeah,
So I feel like it's not Kikuyu per se, but you see these languages which have become common, like the
yeah.
Western language, Omera, what. Like you can start somewhere, then we head somewhere. Because if it's a gap, it means there are people who are really interested in wanting their kids to understand the language. And you never know.
So,
Yeah.
uh-huh.
Actually, you should have told them you taught them. You teach, then you look for somebody who is good at it. Kikuyu mindset.
I know. I should have grabbed it, the
Yeah, you should
opportunity.
have grabbed it. You will look for later, but the money is good. You say, I
I
do it. Then
contract
you look for
someone
somebody who
else.
is conversant. Yeah.
Uh, yeah, next time I'm going to do that.
Please do.
Yeah. So, when you are playing when playing during those days, when you were young, what
Mm-hmm.
language did you use? What language did you use during those days you were playing with
Oh,
your friends?
Of course, my native language. And then you see that time playing was the literal playing. It's not like this. There were no cartoons, to be honest. There were no, I don't know what game on the phone. Even there were no smartphones. So it
Yeah,
was
sure.
the literal playing. You go back at home, your parent looks at you, you're like, wait,
Well, unatoka wapi?
unatoka wapi? You're even scared because you know you'll receive some good beating. So of
I
course
know
it
you're
was
going to
there.
be beaten. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you have to go with
Mm-hmm.
some firewood to try and justify why you're looking so dirty and messy.
Buying your
Yeah.
way into the house.
I know, right? Yeah,
Yes, yes,
but it
yes.
was it was basically native language all through.
Mm-hmm.
Swahili, no, no, no. It was native language. So maybe now when I joined now the primary, maybe
Mm-hmm.
now some Swahili here and there. Of course, still you are playing, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Okay, that's great. And I feel like you have answered my next question because I'm going to ask you that if um, was Swahili one of us, or was Swahili one of the languages that you actively spoke, or something you heard of?
Okay, at what stage? Before
Now,
school
let's
or
say now,
after school?
when you are just young. Okay, let me ask this question: at what point or at what age did you start speaking Swahili?
Okay, age would be I might not be very accurate with the age, but okay, so my growing up, we used to have nursery, pre-unit, kindergarten, those systems.
Mm-hmm.
So at that period, you see, those period of nursery and pre-unit, it was basically like going to school to sleep. You sleep, kidogo,
Mm-hmm.
small, small learning, you understand? So around that period, I'll say that's when I started interacting with Swahili, around that period. Yeah.
Okay.
But before then, you are actually need even who are you speaking to in Swahili? Who will understand you? You see, even when you're the rich people in the village or your rich cousins when they come, you're not even understanding each other. You get because if they speak in Swahili and you're deep in your native language, it will be a lot. It was literally a language barrier.
Mm.
So yeah, I'll say when I joined nursery pre-unit around that period.
Okay. So when did you realize that Swahili was very important?
Oh God.
So that
Okay.
Swahili was part of your identity.
Okay, the importance of Swahili.
Mm,
I've never really sat down and thought about it in that way. But let's say
mhm,
sometimes I feel the importance of Swahili when you want something to sink. You see,
mhm,
it's easier to make something sink in Swahili than in English, especially when you're talking to a fellow Kenyan.
mhm.
So when you have that privilege, you really feel its importance. Until now, you're talking to Busola and you really want to explain something.
Trust me, I have tried. And then he'll tell you, what is that? What did you mean?
I know, I know. So when you are trying to explain something in English, it's not sinking. But you know, when you explain it in Kiswahili, it will be easier for you. So I feel I can say that's when I've realized its importance. Because you see, other
You,
days it's conversation or so.
mhm.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah. So Busola is really trying to join. I don't know what is happening from his end.
And
So
another
that's
thing, another time I realized its importance. I don't know if in school you used to have Kiswahili speakers, English speakers. Did you used to have
I,
that? So we used to look forward to Fridays, so that we can speak the Kiswahili we want.
I know a pleasant inclusion of Sheng.
Hey,
Okay, so was there a particular person who connected you to, the Swahili language, or someone that you saw was speaking Swahili and they said, I need to start speaking this language? or you saw
Uh,
that they sound so well in Swahili, and you thought, oh, why not? I should also speak Swahili.
okay, so for
Mm.
that, I'll say, you see, when okay, apart from now being together with your age mates back in at home, you see your cousins. So you have cousins who stay in
The
Nairobi. You see
Nairobi
that in Nairobi
cousins.
is a big deal. Hey! Mpaka sahii kila mtu anaenda Nairobi.
Say they are tumeharibu the culture.
Yeah, Nairobi was it felt like I don't know you're going where. So when
It,
they come back at home and you're
uh-huh,
hearing them speaking Kiswahili, so you used to feel like it's posh. You used to feel like you, I'd like to talk like them, to speak like them. So yeah, I'll say my admiration to how they were talking, how they were speaking, that was a motivation. Like I really want to nataka kuongea kaa wao. Yeah, that's what I'll say.
okay, at some point, did you wish that you
Wasinione kienyeji sana.
from the village? Okay, so was there a point where you told yourself like, yo, I wish I could speak like my cousin. I wish I would be
Mm,
better. I wish.
okay. Maybe sometimes when I feel like they are so good at it, like they are very fluent at it, yeah, maybe that time. But you see, I feel like things have changed, to be honest, Diana. Cause you see the like now for instance, the depression that is being the depression rate that it is right now, then it wasn't there, or maybe it was there, we were just not aware of it. You
True.
understand? Because even when you see the things that are making mostly people be depressed, it's pressure, either from the internet, from the society, or from just even global, the western part of the nini, like watu wa majuu. So
Uh-huh.
I'll say then yes, you'll feel you want to be like them, but as immediately they are gone, that's already shatoka kwa akili yako, and you go back to default setting. So it was at the spur of the moment, then it leaves you. It was not something you'll dwell on. You get.
Yeah.
And then there was no that pressure to you have to learn, you're left out, you're not enough. Because I also feel as much as you felt you also them they would want to understand or to talk like you or to know better also. So yeah.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much for your answer. So, I have another question. Like,
Okay.
have you ever been in a situation where someone expected you to speak a language simply because of where you are coming from, and they thought that because you're coming from this area, you should know this particular language or you should speak this particular language?
Okay. So that's actually it's a good question, but it's the opposite. So I think I mentioned to you that most people thought I'm Kisi. I'm from the Kisi land. So
Also,
not once.
you remember I also asked you about it.
Yeah. So not once, not twice, not thrice. People have expected me to talk in Kisi.
Mm-hmm.
And they expect me that I should be knowing, I should be, and I'm like, no, I'm not from that side. So yeah, that's the most I've faced actually.
And then you know this language, Bana.
I'll be intentional. I'll be intentional in learning basics. I just know the
You know,
exclamation.
oh, wait.
Gaki, gaki.
And then you should go deeper and deeper. Yeah,
I
because I hope you
will.
remembered the first time I spoke with you, I asked you your name, Magara. Magara sounds, coming from the Nyanza area, particularly in KC. And I thought, yo,
Yeah.
you should be speaking this language. And I know that is very common where people are expected to speak, because of what they are associating with. Mm.
Yeah, I'll make effort and learn some basics.
Please do make efforts. Yeah, so for our viewers, those who are joining us right now, tell us what is that particular language that people expected you to speak because of of where you're coming from, and we'll be looking at those charts and try to interact together. And remember, today I'm going to to give you a shout out. So stay tuned as we continue with this beautiful conversation with Mata. So um, now let us talk about this difference between understanding and speaking. And now I'll ask your question. What do you think comes first? Because these are actually very relatable. Understanding or speaking?
I'll say understanding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because first, it's not okay. You can understand something or a language and not be able to speak it.
True.
You understand? And you can still understand it and be able to speak it. Yeah. So I'll say understanding comes first.
Yeah, so the answer that you're giving me are reminding me of what that I was talking. Was it yesterday or the other day? I'm not quite sure. Where now it was about the silent face when a bilingual child is trying to learn this particular language where they're having that silent period. Where and also was tackling on understanding versus speaking, and you know where we say that it is an important phase. And studies and research has been done, which shows that it is a normal phase when someone is learning a new language because they'll, be silent to understand before they speak. And I gave an example of like, this is a mug. I'm putting on what I'm putting water. This is now the input. You know. So I'll start speaking, or the impact is going to be seen after the water has imager and it is overflowing.
Mm,
Same way now with a child. Now the output is going to be seen when the water is now overflowing. Where we say that, and I also gave an example. I told the parents who are watching me that if you are watching me and your child maybe is there playing with their TV, their phones or iPads, try to ask or try to call them in Swahili and tell them to bring you something in Swahili. Let's see, are they
yeah.
really going to understand? As much as they don't speak, yeah, are they going to bring you that which you have asked them to bring, or what are they going to do? So there, we are
Yeah.
going to measure. Did they understand what you said? You know. Uh-huh. So yes, understanding comes first before speaking because they'll start speaking once their cups overflow, and that is when I advised parents, let them not become tired of pumping in this new vocabulary. Aha, Busola is here. Uh-huh. Hi, Busola.
Actually, as we wait for Busola to be conversational, I remember, I really wish the Muitis accepted the offer. Because you see, if you check
Can
their
you guys hear me?
videos, yeah, we can. If you check the Muitis videos, he's very intentional about giving
Can you hear
instructions
me?
to the kids.
Yes, Busola, we can hear you.
Okay,
Can you hear
awesome.
us? Hello, can you hear us, Busola? Busola, hi.
Yeah, it's lagging a bit from my end, but I think I'm just going to continue rolling with us. So let's just keep it going. How's it going, everyone? Hi, Mata. How you doing?
Hi.
Thank you so much, Busola, for joining us. We've been having very beautiful conversation with Dia Mata here, and it's really good to listen to her speak of her childhood, how she came to start speaking language through the motivations that she got from the cousins who are coming from Nairobi. So, thank you
Oh
so much for
man.
joining us. Those who are watching our live stream, this is Busola, my co-host of the day. Okay, so we were talking about feeling, aware was saying that advising parents to keep on, giving enriching their kids with the vocabularies because they are going to speak when you least expect it. And they're going to speak when maybe something exciting has happened to them, when maybe they have won a particular game, and then you'll find them using those vocabularies. So it is not going to be something that is pushed. Mm-mm. When you least expect, that's when they'll speak. Yeah, you had something to say, Mata?
Yeah, I was saying about the muitis, how
Mm-hmm.
he's very intentional about giving instructions to the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like he'll say it in Swahili, go and tell your mom this and this and this in Swahili, and the kid will go and won't miss a point. So I think that kind of intentionality is really good. But I got that now that you're talking about understanding and speaking, you get to see that the kids are able to understand whatever they've been told. But now to speak, it's a problem. But as
Yeah.
long as they're understanding, I think we are a step ahead.
Yeah, and that's why we say that it will happen, and it will happen when you least
Yeah,
expect it. And
yeah,
it's going to
sure.
happen from maybe an exciting moment.
Yeah.
So yeah, Busala, do you have any question for Martha? Is he here, or actually he's frozen, right?
On my end, I'm just seeing Busala co-host. Can't see his screen.
Oh, okay. I can see, but is kinda frozen. Yeah. Huh. So now that you told us that you are speaking a little bit of French, but not speaking actually, yeah, what you said earlier on. So, have you had someone who, okay, have you ever understood a language perfectly but struggled to answer in it? Someone is speaking to you through French and you really, really want to answer it back in French, but you feel like kuna maneno ambayo yanakupiga chenga kidogo.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I have. I have. French especially.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like you've asked if I've ever been in a situation where I'm understanding it, but I'm not able to speak back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. French, the native languages that are not my immediate native language. Yeah. Where you find yourself, you're butchering some pronunciations.
That's true.
Yeah, yeah, I have. I have. But maybe what I have done the most with French is misunderstanding.
What do you mean?
Misunderstanding in terms of, so the person meant one thing, I understood it's another thing. Okay, for instance, let me explain it.
Mm-hmm.
You see, there are words that, let me use it in Kamba. In Kamba, Mutumia, let me use that native language. Mutumia in Kamba, it's my husband. But in my language, it's a wife, it's a lady.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
See, that misunderstanding.
Oh, okay.
Like
Uh-huh.
in Kamba, there are words that to me they are vulgar in my language, but to them, it's perfect. It's the order of the day.
Uh-huh. Oh.
So yeah, that kind of misunderstanding.
Okay, thank you. So now I want us to enter into a very crucial part of this live stream, and this is where we're going to talk about language and identity. And
Okay.
I want to know from your perspective, like, does speaking a language perfectly make you less connected? Does okay, okay, when you don't speak your language perfectly, does it make you to be less connected to your culture?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, when I don't speak it perfectly, especially when I'm speaking it with my fellow, let me say, tribes people,
Mm,
you feel like you're failing in some way. You see, there's how people, if you're not able to speak, there's how the people can judge you. There's some sort of judgmental that comes. So, not being able to speak it perfectly, it makes you feel like you're not really connected, or like
you're missing
you're
out.
giving, yeah, or you're giving a different perspective of how people really, that is different from how you are. Mm. Oh,
Okay, I'm
Busola is
trying to.
back.
Welcome back, Busala. We are sorry for what is happening to you today.
I mean, it's really strange, but yeah, we're here
No,
again.
it's okay.
So I've been following the stream so far on YouTube. Great conversation anyway. And these
Okay,
kids are
great.
joining now.
Thank you so much for joining us. We are talking about if you do not understand a particular language, does it make you feel less connected to your culture? That is what Martha was explaining.
Okay.
Yeah. So, what do you think? What do you think about it? Does it make you to be, less connected to your culture?
Well, I think it really determines what determines the response to that question is what does connection mean to you in the first place, right? So if for someone could feel, I mean, if I'm not speaking the language, let me give you an example because I did a research, recently about third culture kids and all that. So think of maybe someone like who grew up in the United Kingdom and then they traveled down to, and then of course their parents are maybe Swahili and all that, Kenyan and all that, and then for a very long time, the language has been spoken in, you know, where they live in the family environment and all that, and then the child could feel, I mean, until I traveled down to Kenya by myself, that's when I mean I can really feel like I'm really Kenyan. I know my parents are speaking it, but you know that in the real sense, that feeling itself is false, right? Because culture is not necessarily geography; it's really the people, right? Because what makes the culture travel around is the people that it is hosted by. So when I say hosted by, I mean, how do you know a Nigerian? You don't know a Nigerian by looking at a mango, right? You know a Nigerian by looking at a human being who speaks in a certain way, who looks a certain way. So we are basically the couriers of culture, right? So in my opinion, right, you don't necessarily need to wait to be able to, because there are many things that really makes for cultural identity. Of course, the language plays an imperative role that cannot be overemphasized. I mean, there actually scientific research that backs that claim, right? But apart from that, there are other things like the the dressing, right? Even your look, your bloodline, for an example. Then the music. You understand? I know those things don't directly, because I mean, I know in the past 5 to 6 years, in the global stage, Nigerian music has taken like a huge toll, right,
True.
around the world. But because people know Nigerian music doesn't mean they're all Nigerians everywhere, right? There are two different things. Exactly. Because this same trend, if you did back to as far back as 2001, 2005, it was more of American music. Everybody wanted to be like Ja Rule, everybody wanted to be like Puff Daddy, everybody wanted to be like some of these, big names and all that. But then that did not that did not make us Americans, all right? They brought the culture of sagging your trousers. It still did not make you an American, right? So, I mean, at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is that there are many things that actually makes you connected to the culture, and you don't have to narrow it down to just the language. I know it plays a
True.
huge role, right? Because there are
Mm-hmm.
even times when you speak the language, when you miss the intonation, the person still feels like I felt so hybrid, you know. So
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I mean, you can't wait for as long as you can eat the food, you don't puke when you eat the food. Um, you understand let me use the word the biases of the culture and you respect it. I mean, at the end of the day, you're good to go. In my opinion, though, I mean, I stand to be corrected. So that's what I think. But then, I'm not entirely saying that not being able to speak the language does not aid you to be connected to the culture. Right? But I'm saying you don't have to pick one thing when there are many other options that actually can actually connect you to the language. Basically, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, actually, we have a lot: family, food, traditions, music, stories. What else do we have? The values that
Games,
are there, as
yeah.
well as the experiences.
Even how they get married, because that's very imperative too.
Okay, even mode of transport.
Exactly. I was seeing a very funny video on Diana Omari's status. Public transport in Kenya. I don't know whether you came across that on our feed or something.
Yeah, I saw
Public
it, and
transport in
Yeah, I
Kenya.
did.
Public transport in
And it's
Nigeria.
not
I
a
don't know about the
lie.
other countries, but you see the one in Nigeria, very correct,
yeah, I also the one
extremely
in
correct.
Kenya, very accurate, actually.
Even for Kenya, it's very accurate.
Yeah,
Interesting. So you bust loud music like that in public transport.
yeah,
Mm,
yes.
yeah.
That's interesting.
Hmm?
That's interesting.
I think we have what you call matatu culture. Is it matatu culture, or yeah, we have what do you call Nyanga Fest, right? Manyanga Fest, or how is it called? I don't know. Yeah, where those buses that have those loud music, we have a festival for that.
For
Yeah.
real. That's
Mm-hmm.
interesting. That's a very good way to waste
But
time
I
then.
feel like in Kenya, it was a touch of everything highlighted in that video.
Mm.
Interesting.
Yeah, man.
That's
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah, so there are many things that makes for, I mean, cultural identity, and one cannot just narrate alone. But I think the language does a whole lot, primarily because the easiest way to connect with people is to speak a language. But then at the end of the day, we know that we are able to speak people's language. That's why you even have something that is called love language. And I don't think that particular language is in Swahili or any other, so yeah, so that it means, so if you have love language, it means love is a culture. Is that what it means? Let's not go that direction. I'm just being hilarious. What I'm trying to say is I know that the culture plays a huge role, but I mean the
Mm.
language plays a huge role, but it can't be the only thing that we drill it down to, right? So, but I'll
Okay.
ask you. I don't know if I mean Martha spoke to this already. I'd really want to know what it felt like. I mean, growing up in a household where I mean the local language was not like your what you were speaking in the house.
Okay, so maybe I'll say it's growing up in a setup where I'm used to the native language and I found people speaking Swahili or English, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so first that made me non-conversational, whereby I'm not talking at all. I'm not speaking.
Hmm.
Because you fear making
Cause
mistakes.
sorry,
Because you feared making mistakes.
not even because I feared. First, I didn't understand. You
Hmm.
understand? I'm not understanding the Swahili or the English they're trying to speak. So what do? You keep quiet, because first me, I'm not. Kiherere in English is what? Diana.
How do we
Wasabi.
say
I
that?
think you'll understand.
Yeah, yeah, I do understand, but I want to make Busel understand.
I'm trying to tell Ovasabi. Ovasabi is somebody who is extra,
But no, very bubbly now? Or
Obasabi is actually
very. It's
Obasabi is actually Nigerian pidgin English. Oh. It's actually Nigerian pidgin
what?
English.
What does it mean? It means what?
It means when you go over the board, when you do more than necessary.
I think that's it, right?
It's close to that. So I'm not that kind of a person. So the most I'll do is just keep quiet because you're not understanding whatever people are saying. But now at least the good
Mm.
thing is with you see when maybe you're at that time when they realize, hey, Martha is talkative, she's not talking, what's wrong? So they'll try and like throw some words that you'll be able to understand. But also I'm a fast learner. At the end of the day, you try and catch up as you go, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
what language were you? I mean, during this period, what language were you was more native for you compared to what they were speaking?
That period, my native language,
Which is?
which is Kimbere. So Kimbere was
Oh,
is my native language. So that was the commonly used because Swahili. I came to interact with Swahili when I joined now when I started going to school. Because
ah,
I was telling Diana before you joined during that period when you go to the market it's the native language. To church it's the native language. The only time you could hear another foreign language that time it was radio when playing on
oh, I
Sundays
see.
maybe. Yeah.
I was
So
actually
you
telling.
primarily learned all of your Swahili in school, right? All of your
Yeah,
Swahili was in school.
I'll say in school and when now my cousins are visiting or when you're interacting, you'll hear them. You see the curiosity when you're a child, you want to also shine. You want to learn some one, two languages. Yeah.
Uh, that's nice. I think Diana has some questions for you.
Okay.
It's not for
Shoot.
Martha, it is for you. It is for
Oh,
Oh,
both
for
of
me,
you.
yeah, please. Why not? Why not? That's why we're here.
So, yeah. So I understand that once you say that you're not quite fluent in Yoruba.
Yeah.
Now, so because you're not quite fluent or you're not quite you don't have that rich Yoruba, have you ever felt less
Mm-hmm.
connected because of your language ability?
Me, Ogumba Busola Patrick, no way. You can't intimidate me with anything. Never. You know the thing is, for me personally, for me, and I apologize if this sounds grandiloquent, but it's just what I really observed. I am very good with people, extremely good with people, and that in itself already bridges that gap, right? Where uh, you know, I mean, again, this is not to blow one's trumpet and all that, but I'm that kind of person that I think you will uh, you will gladly let go of anything that will not make me connect with you when you notice I'm not connecting with you, right? You will gladly let it go. I mean, if you have to surrender your Swahili to speak only English, you will do it. If you have to surrender your deep Yoruba you will do it. Like again, I don't want to sound imposing, but again, but no, I don't think so. So there's that sense in which let me put a bit of perspective to it. So when I say that I don't speak deep Yoruba, it's primarily because um there is a certain level of native fluency that comes, of course, with every language, right? For an example,
Sure.
if I have to say something like maybe um I want to go to the toilet, for an example, let's just use that very simple term. I would say something like "mofelo si toilet." Now, "mofelo" means I want to go, right? But you see, that I still borrowed the vocabulary for toilet from English. But then but Yoruba itself has its own, word for English, igbonse or something. But that would not. It's not because I don't have that word in my head, but it will not be my first go-to. It's not the most convenient for the immediate conversation that I want to have. So I'll most likely just quickly branch to borrow those words from English and all that. So at the end of the day, um, I strongly, definitely, I strongly feel connected to the Yoruba culture because I grew up in the Yoruba community. The people I was playing football with on the streets, we were speaking Yoruba, so it was the language that we spoke, right? It was, of course, when I got into university, I decided university, secondary school, and then people, because in the secondary school I went to, if you speak bad English, people will laugh at you. There are no two ways about it, and they don't care. So it became a compulsory social obligation. I mean, it was so bad, Martha and Diana, that there was a point in my life in secondary school I was reading dictionaries. I mean it. Yeah, I mean it. And you can actually tell right now, like is I can't remember the last time I looked at a dictionary really like deliberately, but you can tell like that attitude then sort of like just influenced my words, my choice of words, and all of that. So, and it was because of the secondary school that I went to, like, you needed to know how to speak good English. It was a social necessity, right? It wasn't compulsory, but it was social necessity because the girls you were tripping for would laugh at you. The boys you were walking up and down as cliques would laugh at you, right? So, and of course, primarily this is definitely one of the things that for us at Tirade Live, we're really trying to help diaspora parents to help to mitigate for their kids that identity crisis when they are in between friends that you know don't speak their own language and all that. But long and short is no, I have never, I will never, and I can never feel out of place just because I'm not able to speak, deep Yoruba. So I'm actually going to be able to speak very good Swahili in another 3 to 4 years from now. But if I'm not able to at the end of the day, it's all good.
When do we start lessons for Swahili?
The money yet. So let's not talk about that.
Okay. So I can see that time is up for us. It was really nice and very interactive having you in this live stream today. And what I wanted to remind us that is at the end of the day, a language is just more than words. We know what language carries. It carries memories, cultures, values, traditions, and all that. So thank you so much for joining this live today, and I'm hoping that we will continue meeting and interacting more because this is very important because language is one of the important things in our lives because we use it in our day-to-day communication, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Do you have anything as we end the live?
I was glad to be your guest for today. I've enjoyed the session a whole lot than I thought. Yeah, so be proud of your language, be proud of who you are, where you come from. Yeah, it's always good to connect with your roots, to be honest, like to be told somebody can identify you with this community, with this part of the country. It's always good to, yeah, to know. So subscribe to the Tayari Live, try and patronize whatever they're trying to sell, and yeah, thank you.
Yes, indeed. Don't forget to press that button, like, share, and subscribe, right? Yes, and we have a link there where you
Yeah,
can
so I
still.
just even dropped the QR code to the app there. So you can just scan it just at the top left corner of your screen. It will take you directly to the website, and then you can just have a look at the website. Really gamified. I mean, there's an AI feature there. The learning is very systematic from beginner to intermediate. Then that. So it's really something you want to, you want to just QR code. Then I think you're in a better position to the code. So maybe point your hand to the left hand side of your screen. Exactly, that's where it is. So yeah, just scan that, and then you get access to the website. So thank you so much for joining today.
Kwaheri.
Oh.
Oh.